Welcome back, everybody, to another one of our convos. Today, joining me is Havanna Winter. We're very excited to talk to you, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Nice. So, obviously, we're here to talk about kind of your music. You have a new song out, and you have dropped, I think, 2 songs this year, and we're going to talk about all that. But before we kind of get into that, we kind of want to let people know a little bit more about you. So, can you kind of give us a short breakdown of your background?
Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm Havanna Winter. I live in Los Angeles, California. I have been doing music since I was around 11, I believe. And I'm doing a lot of rap. I went viral on TikTok at 2020 with a very random dancing video, but it went viral. And yeah, I've been doing social media for a while. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you, kind of your background, you're multinational, right? You are from Norway?
Yeah, I'm from Norway. I grew up there, spent most of the time, and then I moved to LA 2015. Yeah.
So how would you kind of say, growing up in those two, I'm assuming they're pretty different, LA and Norway. How would you even though you are young, how would you say it's kind of influenced you in any type of way, musically or culturally?
I mean, I love both places. And I don't know if it's really influenced me musically. I mean, when I moved here, that's when I really that's when I started getting into music and acting. I realized, wow, this is something I really want to do. I mean, I've been wanting to do this, but once I moved here, I saw how everyone was doing, and my mom's friend Rose, we were doing a bunch of covers, and from there I just kept going.
Okay. And I guess you talked about you going viral. How did that happen?
Very random. It just sort of blew up, I guess. It was a dancing trend with a song called Roses. But yeah, it was just a very random dance, and yeah, I already had a following on TikTok from before, because I've been for a while, but it just was pretty random.
It's kind of I feel that's kind of the story for most people who go viral. They don't really know how it happens, but somehow it happened. Yeah. How have things changed since you kind of went viral and everything?
I mean, I just kept going with everything, and especially with music and stuff, I started loving it more and more. They're loving it more and more, and acting. I believe I started doing. I mean, I've done some commercial stuff in Norway, but I've started doing auditions here, maybe 2 years ago.
Okay. So how would you your initial when you first kind of things started going for you and things started blowing up for you? How was your initial reaction to everything?
It was fun. I mean, I love it, and I do that. It's exciting.
It does help, obviously, with immediacy and recognition, but then there is a whole community that's very critical of artists who come up through those different platforms. Have you run into any of that criticism yourself?
I mean, social media and music and acting is very. Oh, the hate. Sorry. I didn't really fully understand that question. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's the easy way to put it. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate coming out. So how have you experienced that yourself as an artist?
I mean, everybody gets hate comments when they do what I, but I don't really check into that. Like, I don't really want to see those, so I try to focus more on the positive things people say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how'd you like initially get your start into actual music?
How what?
Did you get your start into actual like starting into music?
Well, when I was 11, I was at this garden party, and I got picked up by this management at the studio and recorded a song. From there, when I realized that we kept going to the studio, and then I also, like, with my mom's friend Rosie, we did a lot of covers together. It was really, really fun. So I kept going.
I see you have the Doors poster behind you. So like,
I'm a big fan of the Doors.
Okay, so who would be some of, like, your biggest influences, like, musically?
I mean, obviously the Doors, and the Rolling Stones, and Lana Del Rey, and Madison Beer, and Aerosmith, and Mazzy Star. A lot of different people. Yeah.
I hear like a lot of like older bands in there, you know, like.
Yeah. I love old retros.
So that's kind of what you like were raised on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So you have a new song out called "Heaven to Me."
Mm-hmm.
You want to break that down for people?
Yeah, "Heaven to Me" is a song about a girl who is in love with a bad boy and is completely ignoring all the red flag and that kind of, yeah, that's basically it.
So you, and I guess in the press release, you guys have mentioned your past like influences, like from movies. So like The Lost Boys and Tarantino and all this stuff. And is that kind of also what influenced Heaven to Me itself?
Yeah, with Heaven to Me, like a little right from Pulp Fiction, like Vincent Vega and Mia Wallace, and we're doing a lot of more stuff with like inspirations from retro films, and like out for that.
I mean, saying Pulp Fiction is a retro film now is, you know, it kind of hurts me a little bit. That's what I grew up on. You know, I'm a 90s kid, so that was like definitely my era.
Right.
So
that's so funny.
Times have changed. Times have changed for sure.
They really have.
So you are signed to Stevie Van Zandt.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's a legend. How familiar are you with like him before you like started working with him? How familiar were you with him?
I've known him for a while because my mom did a TV show with him, and yeah, always inspired with music and always giving me great advice. And yeah, he's a guy. I love working with him.
Yeah, he's when I saw the name, I was definitely like kind of like I was starstruck because he's part of one of my shows, and he's part of one people consider to be one of the greatest bands ever, which is Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. So,
right.
You've seen Sopranos? I mean, you're only 16, so I'm not sure if you've ever actually seen it. I
have not seen it yet. No.
Oh man. I would say you should see it, but it's also not like the most appropriate show at times. So.
Yeah, maybe I should wait.
You should definitely ask him about that because I'm sure he gets a million questions about his role in Sopranos from people all the time.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely will.
So you're also the first release from his label. Do you feel any like pressures from being the first?
Not pressures. I mean, I love working with him. He's an amazing guy, and he's always like helped me with music, and so yeah, there's not really any pressures with that.
Okay. So what's your guys' plan, for the future rollouts and everything?
Well, I'm releasing 2 new songs this year, and then I'm currently working on an album that will be released next year, which I'm really excited about.
Okay. So full album.
Yeah.
Goal. Okay. That's cool. How would you describe like your sound?
My sound would be pop with a little hint of rock and campy, and yeah.
And you said like one of your influences is Lana Del Rey.
Yes.
Okay, I could definitely hear that coming through in the songs that you heard, from Heaven to Me, and I think the other one you released was Rain, Rain, Go Away.
Rain, Rain, Go Away. Yeah, that was my first release.
So how's the reception been to the music that you put out so far?
Sorry, I'm bilingual, so I don't know like big words. Can you
No problem. How have like people responded to the music that you put out so far?
Honestly, really well. Like, people like it, and I'm so happy that people like it, because I mean, I've worked so hard on them, and I've been making music for so long, and I've never released anything until recently. So it's really exciting that people like my music. So
for a lot of artists, that first release is a very kind of like nerve-wracking experience. Like, how was it for you?
It was a little scary at first, because like you never know what people are going to say, but at the end of the day, you got to just like ignore the hate and focus on the positive things. So, and that's what I did. And yeah, like it's been going well.
Okay, cool. And you've also worked with some big names in music, Maya K and Mark Nealon Jr. How has the process been working with those 2 people?
So amazing. They're all so talented. We have a lot of fun in the studio. Like I said, I get inspiration from like old retro movies. So I always like bring in ideas, and so do they. And then we all just work together on it, and it's really fun.
I can see, I can also see a poster. Is that the Labyrinth?
Yes, it is. That is the Labyrinth. And then there's the Lost Boys, and then I have Kurt Cobain and Empire Records and Jimi Hendrix right here.
Okay, now that's actual retro. Like, I wouldn't say
right.
Fiction is retro. I can't say that yet.
Right.
But Labyrinth and like, all this, yeah, for sure. So what drew you? I want to know what's your favorite part of Labyrinth? Because I've seen this movie, I think, for the first time last year, personally.
My favorite part of the Labyrinth. Honestly, every part with David Bowie. I think it's because he's so amazing. Like, I love David Bowie so much, and he's an amazing actor too. Like, it was my first movie that I saw him in, so it was really exciting to see him in a movie.
So you're a big Bowie fan?
Extremely.
Cool. I was just curious because people have been telling me about this movie like my whole life, and I actually didn't see it for the first time until last year. Yeah,
my first time seeing it was like the beginning of this year. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we got like a whole
and you already have the poster
and like a tarot cards, like literally of the movie. So yeah.
This was all after you saw the movie.
Yes. Okay. I'm a big fan of that movie now.
So it definitely had an impact.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I guess, I mean, I don't have too many other questions. Maybe like kind of what is a typical day for a 16-year-old TikTok, celebrity?
I mean, I wake up, I have school, I do school, and sometimes I have meetings or auditions, and I make content, and I have voice lessons, guitar lessons, and studios sessions, and yeah, and interviews.
That sounds like a very full day.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely busier than me. So, it's been good talking to you. Heaven to Me is a great song, and I enjoyed it, and definitely wanted to kind of talk to you about it. Considering 16 is you're doing all this at 16, which is crazy to me, but it's it's inspiring for people to see, and I wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It was lovely talking to you too.
Lovely talking to you. And everybody who's watching this, you can follow her on all of her socials, which we'll put down below. And we'll be on the lookout for, any more music on the way, you said this year and next year. So.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And definitely ask Stevie about the Sopranos next time you see him.
I definitely will.
All right. Good talking to you.
Thank you.
Marijuana.